Good morning to this wonderful practice. We're going to prepare our bodies to actually do the splits. But I would actually like to start with a prayer before we start practicing. Let us expand our hearts to God and connect further to Jesus Christ. Let us be open to receive inspiration from the Holy Spirit. Drop everything that holds us back. Let us become more flexible in body, mind, and spirit. Let this practice help me to expand in every aspect of my life. So let's start by standing in front of your mat, top of your mat in Tadasana. We're going to lift our arms. Big inhale, lift. Big exhale, hands to your side. Let's do this again. Big inhale, lift up your heart, tighten your core, and big exhale, letting go. Big inhale, lift. Big exhale. Just bending your hands up and down and then come to a standing position. Again, lift your arms up. Inhale. Exhale, hands to the side, palms out. And now expand, flex, and point, basically. And then come into a forward fold, maybe bending your knees quite a lot. On this first one, maybe loosening up your neck a little bit here. Breathing, pulling, drawing in your belly. And come up. Inhale on the big inhale. Lift your hands up, raise them to the sky. Exhale. Again, point and flex your fingers, your palms, and rolling out your shoulders. Inhale up. Lift your arms. Exhale. Hands down, clasp them behind your back. Opening up your chest, really lifting, maybe dropping your head back. And then bending your knees and forward folding. Don't push your arms, just let them naturally drop. Make sure your head is really loose. Breathe. Bend your knees, inhale, raise up your arms, big inhale, and stretch to one side, grasping the opposite wrist, stretching to the other side. Make sure your arms are straight, your legs are straight. Nice side body stretch. Palms clasping behind your back again, maybe the other thumb on top. Open up your heart, your chest, and bending your knees, forward fold. Letting gravity open up your shoulders more. Don't push. Draw in your belly. Now put your hands on the floor and open up to one side. Side twist. Straighten up the same leg as you open up with your arm. And drop. Left leg extended, left arm raised up, right leg bend. Breathe. Both hands to the floor, forward fold, and lift on the inhale all the way up. Side body stretch. Straighten out your legs, straighten out your arms as much as you can, and grab the opposite wrist and to the other side. Nice opening of the side body. Lift to the center, arms clasping again behind your back, opening up your chest, maybe adding a further back bend, only if that's good for you. Bend your knees quite a lot. Forward fold with the hands on the floor. Inhale, lift straight back. Prepare. Exhale, forward fold. Open up into the standing twist. Right arm is lifted, right leg is straight, and then the other side. Twisting and breathing, opening up the body. Both hands to the floor. Lift, prepare, and step back into a plank position. Chaturanga, upward facing dog, into, actually we stay here. So, and then into a downward facing dog. Draw on your core. And then I walk my dog a little bit to open up the hamstrings. Stay in the downward facing dog, drawing in your belly. I have to actually move the dog a little bit from my mat. So stay in that downward facing dog and breathe. Lift, expand your right leg to the sky, three-legged dog. Really point those toes, straight line. Now shift the weight forward, draw on that knee into your chest, then towards the right tricep, left tricep, right tricep, and three-legged dog. Again, move forward, shift forward into the chest, right tricep, left tricep, again the right tricep, and then three-legged dog. And before we go to the other side, let's come into a downward facing dog. Let's walk this dog and feel the difference in openness of the sides. Should be a lot more open on one side. Let's lift the left leg up to the sky, point those toes, and shift forward the weight and back into a three-legged dog. Shift the weight forward again, left tricep, right tricep, left tricep, and lift, expand. Again, draw the knee in, left tricep, right tricep, right, left tricep, and expand, three-legged dog. Let's come back into a downward facing dog. Again, walk the dog, draw in the belly, activate the core, the pelvic muscles, and then let's move into plank. I shift forward and back a little bit just to engage the core a little bit more. And hold that plank, come into Chaturanga, upward facing dog. Look over one shoulder, over the other shoulder, and come through a quick child's pose. The hands are expanded forward onto the fingertips. Long arms, long back. Breathe into your back. And then move into a downward facing dog again. Now lift the right leg up to the sky. Open up your hip. The knee is pointing towards the sky. And let's do a little bit hip mobility, circling to one side, circling to the other side. And then expanding the leg into a three-legged dog again. Shift your weight forward, and this time we're going to step forward into a low lunge, but still with the knee lifted. I shift my weight forward and back just to open up a little bit further. And if you're comfortable here, you can place your knee down. Lift your upper body up. I'm placing my hands onto my thigh. Stay with a straight back or lean back into a little back bend. Maybe even your head drops back. Maybe you can lift your arms and come into a crescent lunge. See what feels good to you here. Opening up your chest. Now I'm going to come into a side body stretch to the right side. Really trying to expand my arms as much as I can. Really opening up the hip flexors more here. Now let's come into a high lunge. Lots of strength in the legs. And maybe raising up your arms here as well. Make sure your back leg really tries to straighten, lots of strength. And let's open up into a side body twist here with the arm extended. To me, this is a really difficult pose. Lots of core involvement. And then I shift back into a side body stretch. Again, this is really difficult for me. Maybe it is for you. Now placing both hands back to the floor. Shift forward to chaturanga, upward facing dog. Stay here through child's pose with extended arms. Come onto the fingertips. Breathe. And back into a downward facing dog. Let's come to the other side. So left leg is lifted. Point the knee upwards to the sky and let's point upward again. Three-legged dog. Point again and let's do some circling to one side and then to the other side. Just opening up the hip a little bit, getting more mobility. And then let's expand that leg again. Point the toes. And let's shift the weight forward and step through into a low lunge, but with the knee lifted. Shift your weight forward and back. Opening up, deepening the stretch. And then I'm placing my right knee down. Lifting my upper body. Placing hands on my thigh. Breathing here and then come into a back bend if that feels comfortable for you. Maybe even expanding the arms up. Crescent lunge. Hold this pose. Breathe. Opening up your heart. More expansion. And then come out of the pose and come into the side body stretch now to the left side. Try to straighten the arm. Try to stay open with the shoulders. Come out of the pose and into a high lunge. Lots of strength in the legs. And then maybe raising up your arms here. Maybe even looking towards your arms. Lots of balance, lot of strength. And let's move into a side twist onto the left side. And this is really difficult pose for me. Lots of core strength, lots of leg work. And then let's place our left arm on the back heel and then move back. Come out of this pose into chaturanga. Into an upward facing dog. Really expanding your heart, looking over one shoulder here, looking over to the other shoulder, opening up the heart, and then come back into a child's pose with extended long arms onto the fingertips. Breathe. Stay here, and then let's move into a cat-cow. Do it in your own pace with your rhythm, inhaling and exhaling. Slow movements. Inhale And exhale. Opening up, thread the needle, open up the right arm, extend it to the sky, and thread it through, placing the ear onto the floor. And I actually like to expand my left arm forward and coming onto the fingertips, but you don't have to extend the arm. Breathing. Coming up, lifting up, and this is really difficult for me to lift. And placing your hands down. Let's do some more cat-cows. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Inhale. And let's lift the left arm up to the sky and thread it through. And maybe you would like to expand your right arm straight forward. Breathe deeply, relaxing your shoulders. Shift out of this pose, lift the left arm up again towards the sky, and come into a downward facing dog. Breathe. Shift your weight forward, plank, chaturanga, upward facing dog, into child's pose with extended arms again. Come onto the fingertips, releasing, relaxing, and then into a downward facing dog. Lift the right leg up again. Shift your weight forward, knee draws into the chest, and step forward the right leg. Low lunged. And then come into lizard pose. So both arms are on the inside of the leg. And the knee is really close to your shoulder. Maybe you want to stay on your fingertips or come down all the way to the elbows, but make sure that your knee is not flopping out to the side yet. Expand. And if it's too much for you, come back up. Now, come onto the outer edge of the foot, and I'm going to come into kind of a twist, helping with my arm to open up the thigh a little bit more. Placing both arms again to the middle, and then I'm going to come into half Hanumanasana, half split. And this is always an option for you. Now I'm pointing here my toes and flexing them. Point and flex. And then shift your weight forward. We're going to attempt the splits now. So you can come into a part-way split as I'm showing here, or move all the way into the splits, depending on how you feel. My back leg, I'm staying on the toes, and I lift up with my arms and drop down. This really helps me to expand a little bit more. I'm trying to open up my chest. Stay here. Breathe. And then I'm placing my back toes down, opening up. Trying to expand. This is really difficult for me to expand my chest upward. I'm not very open. And let's move out of the pose. Downward facing dog. And I'm gonna expand my left leg up into the sky. Shift your weight forward. Hold it here. And then place the leg down. Low lunge. Both hands on the inside of the leg. Let the left leg not drop to the side yet. You can always stay on the fingertips or come into your elbows, whatever feels good to you. Breathe. And I'm always here thinking about a little bit more of a Sphinx pose in the lizard. So I'm trying to always expand my chest a little bit. I'm coming on the outer edge of the foot and twisting. You can be on your arms or on the elbow, however you rather more enjoy it. Breathing. Let's come up, placing your foot into the center again and come into a half Hanumanasana, half splits. And I'm pointing my toes and flexing. Pointing and flexing. Pointing and flexing. And then I attempt the splits, and you can come into a partway split and stay here. You can even have yoga blocks to lift you up higher. And if you're ready, you can extend your top leg. And I like to come onto my toes and lift myself up and drop. Up and drop. And expand my chest. Lift and drop. It's a nice kind of exercise to help yourself with the splits. And once you're comfortable, you can come off the toes and into the full splits, trying to open up your chest. Maybe you're even able to lift your arms up. Breathe. Try to relax, finding the balance between tension and relaxation. Hold just a little bit longer, and let's shift out of the pose. Come into a downward facing dog, through plank, chaturanga, upward facing dog, and drop your upper body down, cobra pose, again into an upward facing dog, with the feet this time really close together. Drop your upper body and expand your feet mat distance apart, and then opening up again into an upward facing dog. You will feel a little bit of a change of the stretch. And drop yourself down. And normal upward facing dog. And drop into child's pose with extended arms. Come onto the fingertips. Breathing, lengthening your spine. Look forward and come into a downward facing dog. Drawing in your core, your belly. Finding lots of length. Breathing. Now hop to the front, come into seated position. You can always step forward as well. And let's use our core to, as slowly as you can, put your upper body to the floor, engaging your core a lot. Now I'm down. I'm going to draw in my right leg towards my armpit. And then I like to expand my leg, but you can always bend the knee and have the knee bent. I like to point and flex my toe. Again, have that knee into your armpit, and then I drop into a side body stretch. Get the knee across your body. I always like to have my arm not 90 degrees out, but a little bit higher to open up the chest, the collarbone a little bit further, the muscles. And you can come into a deeper twist if you'd like to expand that right leg. And it's called a cat catching the tail. Still a twist, but also a nice stretch for the thighs, for the calves, for the entire body. If it's too much, just come into a regular side body stretch. And let's switch sides. So draw in that left knee towards the chest and then towards the armpit. You can stay here or expand your leg all the way. It's almost like a splits, but laying down. Point and flex your toes to release more tension. And then I'm bending my knee across my body and come into the side body stretch onto the other side. You can always stay in this pose, in this nice side body stretch, or you can come into the cat is chasing its tail. That means the front body is going to be stretched out. Great expansion. Relax. See if that feels good to you today. Breathing deeply. And then let's come out of this pose. And draw in your knees. I like to rock from side to side just a little bit, giving myself a back massage. And then I like to draw in my feet. It's like balasana, but upside down, opening up your thighs. I like to lift my head towards my toes and make myself a ball, really tightening up everything, and then shift into Shavasana. To prepare, inhale and exhale, maybe roll your head from side to side. Shift around so you're finding just the perfect spot to truly relax. Let's say a little prayer. Thank you. I dwell upon your goodness in my life. I cherish in my heart your gift to me. Also, I notice the blessing of life, breath, loving and sharing. I'm so very grateful. Thank you, Lord. Amen. Once you're ready, let's expand our arms up, stretch up, maybe open up your palms and closing them again, pointing your toes, flexing. I'm going to draw on my knees one more time and shifting my weight from side to side, really loosening up my back. Breathing, and I'm going to shift my weight to the side, come sitting up. One leg is in front of the other, and I always like to make a few rolls with the upper body. Just small rolls to loosen up any tension that is still left, and then make the circles really big. It's cat-cow in a circle motion. Really big. I feel this in my hips, in my side body, everywhere. Let's switch legs. Other leg comes in front and circling to the other side. First just the upper body and then the lower body as well, making the circles really big. Breathing. Now shifting the weight to one side, open stretch to one side. Let both hip bones still touch the floor. Expand the arm to the other side. Breathe. Have your head shifted up and down and then to the other side, just loosening up the neck. And inhale, big inhale, thanking God. Exhale, hands to your lap. And God bless you.